Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first RIPcast, recording on the 50th anniversary of America's greatest sporting event. I'm your hero, Byrne Farraday, and I'm joined today by four of my closest friends.
Hello, I'm Beef Mclargehuge, also known as Triformus on the internet, also known as, some people mistake me as Swix.
Yeah, Swix. Yeah, everyone knows who Swix is out there.
Everyone knows who Swix is. He's a universal concept.
Right, I've not been
shit.
introduced. You don't
Sorry.
exist
Yeah.
yet.
Shantari, you haven't been
next.
introduced either, and you're talking as well.
I'm Shantari. I'm introducing now, but I'm Shantari, and that's pretty much it.
After you get how to introduce yourself before I do. Thank you.
I don't do anything. I'm Afro. That's it.
That's
I don't need an introduction. Go on direct.
Hang on, wait. Let me introduce Afro. This is the Only Afro from YouTube of Dark Souls fame.
Shantari said it for
Likely
me.
the
There you
reason
go.
that you're listening.
no.
Let's be honest.
Are you kidding
Hopefully
me?
not, because you won't.
I
you'll
have
be
at
disappointed.
least 100 followers on Twitter.
Let's
I've got
compare our follower
31.
counts real quick.
No. Wait, first, while you do that, introduce yourself.
I'm Recueillir. You don't need to worry about spelling it or anything. It's fine.
Okay.
That's
Don't worry, spell check will do that for you.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
no.
it's,
It won't.
it's
a
spelled exactly how
bunch
it
of-
sounds.
It's not. It's just like most French words in that.
Well,
it's
just
stupid.
imagine you're French and then spell it exactly how it sounds.
All right, today we're going to talk about video games mostly, and anything else that pops up. First off,
I mean, I feel like that's we're going to be talking about video games every podcast.
yeah.
Who knows?
But do you want to
would
be
hope.
boxed in like that though? Like,
I mean, we can talk about
Typecasted?
other things, but I feel like video games are the primary focus.
yeah.
I
yeah,
haven't
because-
really played any video games, to be honest.
The reason we're all friends is because we all play video games together mostly. We're all part of a website called vidjashorts.com where a bunch of streamers and people who watch streams congregate like ants on a rotting apple.
Exactly like ants on a rotten apple.
It's basically
The tightest
Vidya
knit
Shorts.
community.
Yeah, we're knit together like a disgusting sweater on
A
Christmas.
finely woven tapestry.
There you go. And then we all started playing Final Fantasy 14, and yeah, that's
And then we all stopped
then
playing
we
Final
all
Fantasy
sta-
14.
yeah, we'll probably get back to that, I would think.
It's a cycle.
Yeah,
We can probably talk about 3.2 later.
yeah, oh
on.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm all over the fucking Final Fantasy talk, man. Hit me with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have it be a segment. And Burn.
I mean, I'm down with that.
Just
Face.
That'll
Just
be a
like our
segment
anime
later on for
segment.
you guys. Yeah,
yeah,
you can skip ahead to that now if you'd like.
yeah. Click the
Skip
click the
ahead.
I don't
annotation.
want to talk about anime.
Okay, we won't talk about anime then.
It's fine. That's fine.
I mean, you can. I can apport maybe 3 words of
Okay.
anime knowledge that I have.
Well, we've already said
We'll save that
anime
for
like
later,
3
then.
times, so okay.
I'll do some research.
Well, a whole lot of nice video games came out pretty recently.
Like almost
Like
too
what?
many.
For example,
For example, The Witness by Jonathan Blow. Many may know Jonathan Blow as the man who created Braid, and then did not create another game for 7 years until this game.
he's got a bit of
Wait,
beard.
that's
a beard,
he's the
doesn't he?
braid guy?
He
Yeah.
created.
No, I don't know anything about The Witness at all. Actually, I actually meant to like pirate it. I mean, obtain it legally
Can't say
that.
and play it.
Oh God! I'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Don't
That out,
sue.
please.
Obama.
I actually won't. But
Can we ship
Can we
all
make
that?
like a noise
can we
So that
can
we-
we
I
not
did-
refer
I
to
did-
other podcasts?
so we know where in the audio to remove it? Like snap or something?
No, I'm not
Put
gonna
down
do
a
that.
timestamp? How far are we into this?
No.
Oh god, we're only
It's-
4 minutes in.
it's
We've got
been 3
to go.
hours.
4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, back to The Witness. Everyone's favorite collaboration of line puzzles and home videos.
It's,
Have you seen the ending to The Witness yet, Beef?
I've seen the part. Yeah, I guess it's the ending where, spoilers, it just resets all the puzzles, and it's fairly.
Oh, okay.
So
no,
I
you
haven't seen the actual
to
ending.
it yet then. There's
where Jonathan Blow comes on stage, and just slaps you silly.
You'd be really upset by how accurate that is.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably get back to streaming it at some point.
Yeah, we can discuss the other endings other than the one where it resets another time when you actually finish the game.
It's probably up there for one of my favorite games this year. because it's like it's a puzzle game. It gives you 0 instructions. Everything's contextual, but the satisfaction that you get from solving the puzzles is, I'm going to say, it's better than cocaine. It's
Have you tried the two in a
at the
controlled
same
environment?
time, no, but no. But yeah, it's
I feel like it's basically Jonathan Blow showing off how kind of good he is at making games, because all of the like game design beats are just really good.
it's
Like all the ways he guides you through the puzzles.
Yeah.
The design of the world is really cute. Everything's nice and clean. It's self-contained. You can't go.
How long
far
did it
wrong.
take you to beat
Definitely-
that game? Because it's just a puzzle game, isn't it?
yeah, but it has, according to Wikipedia, over 650 puzzles, which is kind of nuts.
They also take a fair while to figure
Yeah.
out some of them. They can be quite tricky.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 650 puzzles.
Would you would you call it the Dark Souls of puzzle games?
Yeah, it's the Madoka Magica of
Yeah.
video games. It's definitely, I think.
Some people have argued that it's not worth the price tag.
Okay,
I see that complaint.
How
a
much
lot.
is
that's
it?
a whole different issue. It's $40,
Jesus.
which is a lot for an indie game.
Well-
I would, if you compare it
Is
to
Jonathan
other
Blow
indie
even
games.
indie at this point?
I mean,
He's sort of
yes,
like a
because
company
he's-
in and of himself.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't. He has a company. Yeah, it's an indie game development studio though.
When does it stop
Like,
being that?
The thing
Independent.
with the price tag though is that Braid had a really high price tag for an indie game. At least people said it did.
How much was Braid?
At launch on the Xbox Live Arcade? I think it was $15 on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Okay.
Someone could probably fact check me on that. Which was it was the most expensive game on the Xbox
Yeah,
Live
that-
Arcade
that-
at the time, I think.
I don't even remember what else was on the Xbox Arcade at the time.
It was also like vastly the most popular.
It was
Marble Blast Ultra, my favorite Xbox arcade game.
wasn't Geometry
And Hexen,
Wars?
Can't forget.
Was that?
Geometry
yeah,
Wars,
Geometry
Yeah.
Wars.
God.
Banjo Kazooie.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Banjo Kazooie and Banjo 2 were on the Xbox arcade.
that's incredible.
All the rare classics were there.
Oh, Banjo. Okay, we won't discuss old video games. This is all about new video games.
Oh yeah, anything that's not from this year is banned completely.
Shit.
Yeah, because Rec wasn't born.
Okay.
Cross Undertale off the list. Cross
Bring me into this
everything.
after.
Rec wasn't born. Banjo Kazooie came out.
When did Banjo
Wait.
Kazooie actually come out?
Is that?
I very
is
much
that
doubt
true?
that.
That might be true, actually. I just said that without
Okay.
thinking, and
How-
now I'm
We're finding
thinking
this
about
out
it.
right now.
I mean, it's
Banjo
entirely possible.
Kazooie.
That game's pretty old.
29th of June, 1998.
Oh, I'm barely older than it. Jesus, I got one. I've got like a year on Banjo Kazooie.
You're a Banjo Kazooie baby. Your parents
Oh, no.
played that game and then had you as a child.
I mean, to be fair, were you guys playing this when it came out?
Yes,
I was.
How old were you? How
I
old were you
played
guys
it
in
pretty shortly after
1998?
it came out.
I
I
was.
would have been 6 years old,
10 years old.
7.
I was 6.
which is perfect video game.
That's when it's still okay to play video games.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
You mean 24?
A lot of I think
The
the rest of us
optimal
are 90s kids, quote unquote TM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
does that make
also
me?
our
I'm just
target
like-
It's a
audience.
filthy millennial.
No, but it's okay because he'll cover the millennial niche in our podcast.
Yeah, you can talk about like what am I-
Instagram?
I don't-
swag. Your swag and your
Instagram.
YOLO.
That's just millennials, just Instagram.
But real quick,
That's what they do.
backing up to the Undertale mention.
Oh, okay.
As we all know, that shit took the internet by storm. And if you haven't heard of it, what rock have you been living under? Whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you love it, it's a good game,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion.
I honestly don't think anyone here would disagree with you.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I have to confess
Mhm.
that I have still not played
Oh
it.
no,
Oh.
Shantari.
I mean, if you get a chance, I would.
Definitely
I'd
worth a
recommend
play.
it.
I was on a vacation from video games when all the Undertale hype was happening, and by
Mm.
the time I got back, it was officially the meme game of the month.
I mean, the game hasn't gotten worse since.
No.
That's true, but I just I haven't found the time to play it. Perhaps I'll do
It's
so.
pretty
it's
short,
kinda-
actually. Like
bring
if
in
you
my
if you
thoughts.
start it up, and like if you go through it for your first playthrough, not knowing what to do, it'd take you anywhere between like 7 and 10 hours.
Yeah, mine was about 9 hours, I think, my first playthrough.
And then, because you're going to want to play through it more than once, because you'll get...
Yeah, hasn't it got that sick American replay value?
It's got good replay value. Your second time through, I'd say it'll take you like maybe 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty short, but Afro, I believe, he played it, didn't really like it. Did you pick it back up again? And did you start liking it more, or?
Oh. Yeah. What are your opinions on the game?
I
Afro?
never finished the entire.
But you started playing it again, correct?
I did, but I couldn't. I got the same feeling.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
It's a very cool. The music is amazing.
Yeah.
I love the music in that game.
Totally agree.
God bless Toby Fox.
To be honest.
Like, I don't hate the game. The game's good because so many people like it. Most of my friends like it, and I trust their opinion that it's a good game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be
like,
real.
I like
people
pistachio
like
ice cream. Not
too.
all my friends like pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, luckily none of my friends really care for it.
What if they do? Have you actually checked? What if all of your friends do like pistachio?
Like, I have a
ice cream?
friend that doesn't like pistachio ice cream. I did not
He
behead
shows.
him because he doesn't like pistachio ice cream. Like, it's okay to not like other things.
It definitely is.
I know nobody's
agree.
Nobody's saying that it's not.
I think something
you
weird.
crazy coot.
Afro's preparing himself for arguments. Just
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
Get
very-
ready.
he's defending himself.
Like, we're all
Yeah.
gonna stop being
you-
friends from here on. Like,
You either love
give
the
us
game.
2 months, we'll hate each other's
Yeah.
guts.
You either love the game or
Lawsuits and all shit.
you're
Yeah,
basically
just
going to
wait
hell.
for it.
Wow.
Talking of meme games that
Wait.
everyone
I
hates.
got a few more things to say about Undertale.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to talk about the upcoming meme game?
Oh,
of the
we
century?
will talk about it. Do not worry.
Okay.
But
I'll hold my horses.
the strange thing about Undertale is you see everyone talking about it. Like this is my experience. I didn't get the game on the first week. I saw everyone talking about it nonstop. I even watched like a stream or two of it. Like I think I'll hold off until like a few months maybe. Like it doesn't. It seems good, but I was definitely feeling that anti-hype. And then I decided to play it through. I didn't even stream it. I just played through it all the way. And suddenly I just wanted to talk about it to everyone. Like I became what everyone hates in
It's an
Undertale.
awful disease.
It's the strange, and I'm completely aware of it, but that doesn't stop me just wanting to run up to people and tell them about this game. And I think it's just like a quality that the game has once you play it and you beat it.
I mean,
think
it really
just-
is. Like, it doesn't, going into it, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot to it. It seemed like it'll be really simple, you know, and then you get through it and you see, like, all the stuff that happens in the game, and, like, because, you know, you have to get, like, the neutral ending, like, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mild
And-
spoiler, I guess. But the first time playing through it anyway. And it's like, you know, all this crazy stuff happens, and the way the game just, you know, presents itself.
Mhm.
It really is like you just really want to talk about it, like, and I got the game too because like I wanted to check it out because I knew Toby Fox from, he made Homestuck music, and that's where I knew him
Oh,
from.
really? Did he?
Yeah, he made
Yeah.
all.
Toby Radiation Fox.
I definitely need to
Probably.
look at that.
Yeah, he made
Because-
a lot of different stuff. Obviously, he made Megalovania. His like that is his third.
Right.
Undertale is like his third Megalovania remix or whatever that he's done. The first one being that
Wasn't that for
Earthbound
Homestuck?
hack I think he did, where you fight Dr. Andonuts or something, which is crazy.
So it was a
Oh.
Homestuck song, yeah. Megalovania? Is that what you said?
Yeah, wasn't that first on
No.
Homestuck? Mega
Yeah, it was
Marine?
No,
wait,
it was
not? I thought
it was in
just
his
the song on
it was in
Homestuck.
his Earthbound hack that he made.
It-
I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
but
you're
he
right.
Made, he made a.
It's the Sans fight. Spoilers.
Yes.
Wait, I've got to listen to this.
Yeah.
It's a remix of Megalovania. Is the soundtrack to the
Hold up.
Suns fight?
Yeah.
Megalovania.
I think it's called
Earthbound.
The Song That Might Play When You Fight Sans. That's the name of the song.
Yeah. In the band.
Is this even a remix? This sounds
Oh, hold
exactly
up!
It
The,
might be
the
the
Halloween
same.
hack music.
Hmm.
The Earthbound Halloween hack.
Yeah.
That's
the
the
first
that's the
version.
hack that he made.
Oh, and it totally is in Homestuck.
Yeah, the ending to the ending music to Radiation's Halloween Hack to Earthbound, etc., etc., etc.
No wonder it sounded familiar to me. That's incredible.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Like I had.
Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked by that. I had no idea.
You were talking about the journey of Undertale.
Oh, right,
the
right. So,
conclusion
like,
of
yeah,
you
I
going
wanted
on
to-
Tumblr and making Rule 34 of sounds.
Oh no, I wanted to check it out because it was by Toby, and I didn't realize that it would take off like it did. Like I started playing through it, I was about halfway through the game, then I realized that like literally everyone was talking about it all of a sudden, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I guess Toby did a good job.
Got super popular super quick.
He made that game in Game Maker. You don't need any programming
That's
experience
insane.
to make
I don't know.
Undertale.
I've seen some of his Switch cases.
He lucked the fuck out with that, or rather,
He
he
lucked?
fucking invigorated
Yeah,
whatever
he-
Game Maker was.
He did some amazing things, just like with the way the game.
Shout outs to our sponsor
Yeah,
for this
Game Maker.
episode, Game Maker Studio. Buy your subscription now, $10 a year.
I don't think they
You
actually.
too can
Do
make
they have to
them.
I don't think
contact
they
us
actually
before they sponsor
advertise.
us, or do
Yeah,
they do it after
definitely.
we advertise them?
No, we're not getting paid at all.
They've got to pay us retroactively.
In fact,
but-
we might get sued.
Well, they'll
And-
see their traffic go up, won't they? And then they'll say, "Oh, it's obviously us."
The huge spike.
But
And I
speaking
want
of
us to
him
do more.
having made that game in Game Maker, Nintendo actually contacted him to have the game ported to the Wii U Virtual Console or whatever.
Is it out on the Wii U yet?
No, I don't think it's going to be because it was made in Game Maker, and he'd have to like
License it.
reprogram like the entire game basically from scratch.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
It
have
seems
any.
like kind of a redundant transition too, right? Like how much more of an audience is it going to reach being on the Wii U than it already
I
has?
think
Yeah,
it's
and it-
more about the Wii U wants more of a reason to exist. Like,
I mean,
more
Undertale can be played
justification.
on pretty much any computer imaginable.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't take a
Exactly.
really
And
powerful
the
PC
audience
to
for
play it.
Undertale is probably the same sort of audience that's going to have a PC.
Yeah.
I feel like the 8-year-old Wii U market isn't really where Undertale's
I mean, I just like it
pitching.
because I'm sure he'd include separate content for the Wii U version to make it
Yeah.
work.
yeah.
Because there's a lot of
kind of neat.
You have to reprogram the game from scratch.
there's a lot of quirks on the PC version that wouldn't work on the Wii U version.
Uh,
So I imagine he'd
Right.
add additional ones to that instead.
Yeah.
Make up
Maybe a 3DS version, like the bottom screen is your soul, and then the top screen is
That
the
would
guy.
be pretty cool.
Yeah, but that takes a lot of
That-
recoding.
yeah,
'cause
it
you
would-
can't just
Oh,
port a
like
Game Maker
using a
game to Wii U.
touchpad to move around and dodge stuff. That actually sounds
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
It would probably take a separate team.
Yeah, Toby
to
Fox, if you're
accomplish
listening. You can use our ideas
Yeah.
for free.
that.
If you're listening, hit us up. We'll
We'll include-
we'll powwow.
We'll code
be
the game
a
for
guest
you.
on the
more podcast
podcast.
ideas.
No.
Yeah, he's
Well,
the next guest. Next guest.
Yeah,
on the
Afro, you
podcast.
can use your influence. You can
His influence.
get Toby Radiation Fox on the podcast.
We say next guest on the podcast,
Hmm?
but we haven't had any. So,
I
you're the
mean,
first guest on the
technically we
podcast.
all are.
Oh, are we all
Well,
guest stars
yes,
on our own
nobody
podcast?
owns
All right.
the podcast. Except Beef.
No. Yeah, I'm the, because I'm gonna be managing the YouTube channel, so I'll be the only
Sure.
true host. All right. Continuing onward. Shantari, you mentioned another game you wanted to bring up.
The
Wow.
meme game of the century.
Everyone's
Is it?
everyone's favorite meme game of the century, Dark Souls
Oh.
3,
Oh.
It's coming out. It's
It's,
kind of about
it's
2 months.
coming out soonishly.
That's insane.
Yeah,
2 months.
it's on the horizon. We've been waiting for it for a while, ever since Dark Souls 2 was a piece of shit.
Okay.
And,
he-
it
No,
was
let's not
announced
argue
that
I don't-
about
Miyazaki
Dark
was
Souls.
No, I
directing
do-
Dark Souls 3.
I don't think Dark
Okay,
Souls
Beef,
2 was that
defend
bad.
Dark Souls 2, go.
It was okay.
Well,
Like,
It was just kind of garbage. In
okay, sure.
comparison to Dark
Comparing
Souls
it to
1.
Dark Souls 1, yeah, it's maybe not as good, but
I mean-
it certainly stands on its own. I
You
think.
should compare it to Dark Souls
It
1,
stands on
considering
its
it's a
own as a
sequel.
gigantic piece of shit.
yeah, I mean, if you piled shit 3 feet higher, it'd stand on its own.
No, but honestly, like I don't think it was.
Uh,
It's god awful, but I desperately just did not like the combat in it. It felt
right.
It just felt weird. Because I
Okay.
played it again last night because I'm trying to like hook up this PS4 controller, get this shit set up, and I don't know, man. Just the way you swing weapons in that game, the way you dodge.
It's very
Yeah.
floaty.
Floaty is a
Yeah.
good word.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And also just the
Yeah, I
rolling
use
feels so
mostly-
bad.
Yeah. I used heavy weapons, so
Even
I didn't roll
besides
that
the
much.
gameplay.
Or
Like, I finished Dark Souls 2, and there was no memorable moments. I can't remember, like, an amazing boss fight from Dark Souls 2 that's gonna stick with me for a long time.
The best part...
I beat the final boss and didn't even realize.
Yeah, the best part of Dark Souls 2 was probably Majula.
Yeah, it was a
I
nice
love
little
that
town.
place. It's
town.
just the hub.
See, I can't even remember what it is.
Yeah, the only boss I can remember from Dark Souls 2 is the Old Iron King, and he wasn't even that good of a boss.
I remember the flame dude.
Yeah, it's
that
the
Afro
Old
made a
Iron
video
King, isn't
about.
it?
Oh,
right.
yes, I agree with you completely, Byrne. Is this the place where you come out and then there's like... Oh, no, this is the shrine place. Right.
He's got like an anus for a face. And he burns you.
Smell through
No,
these
but
noses and
Majula
everything.
was just the hub where you
Yes.
like after you do the
yeah,
tutorial place and you come
Majula
down and
was
the
very nice.
What was the name of the place in Dark Souls 2 where you come out and it's all fucking like cliffs and dragons and fucking...
The Airy?
Dragons.
Shit.
Dragon Airy.
Dragon Area.
Oh, that shit was cool as fuck.
It was-
that
Yeah,
was
that was
like
cool.
actually
very good
that was
environment.
probably the only memorable moment of the game. That was an incredible atmosphere to pop out into.
I think we basically started off with disappointment because remember the E3 footage, all the lighting, that was amazing, and then you get the game and it's just
What kind of...
bland.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, there's
the
no
lighting's
reason to use the
completely
torch anywhere at all in that game, basically.
Definitely. So
And I like, I liked the idea of having to use the torch to like get around and see and like lighting the other torches, along the wall or anywhere. Like you can even do puzzles like that. Pull a page out of Zelda's book.
yeah, definitely.
Do something like that.
So
But
people would have complained about that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like game testers,
This isn't a puzzle game. I want to kill
Yeah,
demons
But they
and
didn't have to
shit.
do it for every
Ooh.
area.
it's so dark I can't see ahead. Like, how am I supposed to progress?
It's
Yeah.
a bold move that they got Jonathan Blow to design puzzles for Dark Souls 3. I can't believe they did that.
That'd be amazing. Just there are doors in Dark
line
Souls,
puzzles.
yeah, and then they're
You're
just
trying to
line
kill a
puzzles.
dragon and then you got to solve a line puzzle.
I mean,
Imagine the dragon's tail is like the end of a line, and you have to somehow connect it.
Oh.
We're designing the Witness too, by the way. So
Yeah, Jonathan Blow,
Hit us up.
Miyazaki, hit us up.
But Dark Souls 3 it's looking a lot like Bloodborne
Looks
and Dark
Okay.
Souls 1 kind of mixed. I don't know if anybody has watched any of the recent
I've not seen
videos that come
gameplay.
out.
I played the alpha
I
footage.
watched the sick American.
Yeah,
Thief
that's what I was
preview.
talking about, the Thief
That was
preview. That looks pretty
Pretty
cool.
hot.
so
When I played the demo, it felt like more like Demon Souls.
Well, that's
Ooh.
fine.
I mean, that's good too.
like
Like,
how so?
basically
Like
just don't make it feel like Dark Souls 2 and I'm happy.
true.
Oh no, the rolling feels like Dark Souls 1. The
Okay.
attacking feels like Demon Souls a bit. Like the enemies,
Okay.
the way they stagger, the way particles fly around.
In the preview version you played, did they have that sidestepping mechanic?
No,
Oh, I'm really interested how that.
not like
interested in
Bloodborne
how
where you
that
just
plays.
float left
Bloodborne
to
is
right.
so fast, it's scary to play.
Yeah, Bloodborne is a different. It's not Souls
If you
games.
watch the Thief preview for Dark Souls 3, it looks really, really fast. How fast you can move
I'm pretty excited for Dark Souls.
with the
Probably
side
some
steps
kind
and
of
the
perk
rolling.
or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like the sidestepping in Bloodborne from what I saw. Like,
Did you
it's
play
just-
Bloodborne yet?
No. But I'm making hard and fast opinions on it.
Well, you can. Oh, you're not coming to my house for MAGfest, are you?
No.
Darn.
Like
Because
you'd have to bring the PS4.
I'm
We
sure
can just
someone
sit
will
in
hook
the
up a
hotel
PS4
room
in
and
that
just play
arcade room.
Bloodborne instead of go to any of the panels at MAGfest.
Don't go to any panels. Don't go to any
Right.
concerts.
You're
just
getting
sit
ahead
and
of the
play
script.
Bloodborne.
We're going to talk about MAGfest.
But no, yeah, it looks. People are saying it looks a whole lot like Bloodborne, and like some people are happy about that. Some people are upset about that.
How
not-
are the visuals?
problem is-
yeah.
I'm excited about Dark Souls 3 in the same way I was excited about Dark Souls 2
Oh,
before
no.
it came out, and that just makes me think that I'm going to be disappointed in exactly
I'm not
the
nearly as
same way.
excited as I was for Dark Souls 2, unfortunately.
Have you guys
Nah.
played the DLC for Dark Souls 2? You can't judge the
I
game
haven't
without
played
the
I
DLC.
want to. I want to do that.
But
in
I
the
have no
future.
motivation to. The base
I
game
feel like
is
they
so
left the
bad that
best
I
part of the
just
cake.
feel like I can't be bothered to buy
I mean, the thing
the
that bothers
DLC.
me in Dark Souls 2 is not the content, it's just the way the whole game feels. Like the combat and the
Yeah, that is
movement
a
feels
fair point.
awful.
Then you'll probably not like the DLCs.
Afro,
anyways.
would you want to go
But
through the DLC
DLCs are
with me?
good.
Because I'm interested
sure.
in going through that. All right. I'll make
They're amazing experiences.
a note of it. maybe we can even chat about it.
Do you even have the new Dark Souls?
Or maybe
Beef?
you guys could stream
Yes.
it and be best
Well, okay.
friends. Because honestly,
Wait, Afro, you don't have your PC though to play.
I don't. I will eventually.
Eventually, yeah. When that happens, we will do it. All right.
Might as well
I've
just
only
play Dark
ever-
Souls 1.
I've only
You
ever
need to
done
finish that too.
the first like 1.5 of the DLCs in Dark Souls 2. Because I was going through, I did the first one by myself, and then I think I did like half of it with Afro and somebody else. I forgot who was with us.
Yeah, you just forgot
Like,
who you played with. Sorry.
I really did. And, like,
Hopefully,
I feel kind of
hopefully
bad.
whoever they are is not listening.
Yeah, it doesn't,
No, hopefully they
I
are.
forgot
We
who
need
they are.
we need as many listeners as we can get.
Beef, don't sound desperate.
Yeah, if you're listening, write in. Write in and
you,
we'll edit your name back in.
We'll take anyone. If you're listening, send this to your grandma, send it to your mother, your sister, your auntie.
I was about to say, only send it to girls.
Well,
But
so the question is, I think what will maybe make or break the game is what the PvP is going to be like.
Yeah, the PvP was kind of
well, I don't know,
destroyed in
because like
Dark
the
Souls
PvP
2.
in Bloodborne was awful.
Yeah, I think in Dark Souls 2, at least there were times where you were forced to get invaded or something like that. Although
Yes, Dark Souls 2 invasion system was really
it was
good.
really good, and you could choose who you wanted to summon. It was very like it worked, which is a definite
that ring
plus.
that made
yeah.
you summon only people you wanted to.
Yes, exactly.
That was really good.
I will say, I did not like the Rat King Covenant much.
Why didn't you like it?
Yeah, it's the asshole
Yeah,
covenant.
although I will say it's insanely satisfying when you get force summoned to their realm and you just fucking lightning bolt them to death in that big pool of water that they hang out in.
You're just enjoying some Schadenfreude.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, I think if Dark Souls 3 has interesting covenants, interesting invasions, and maybe even make it so as long as you're online you can be invaded, even though that might dissuade people, I think it's
Well,
You shouldn't
the
be able
problem
to
was
just
there weren't
skip-
infinite invasion stones in Dark
Yes.
Souls 2.
Was there really? You could though.
You-
There was
You
an
could
easy
buy
way to
them,
get
yeah.
them.
You had to
Yeah,
buy them,
that
and then
always-
your soul memory would go up, so then
They also
you
had
could
a
invade
respect
anybody.
system, which
Right,
was really
soul
great.
memory. That was a big issue.
Soul memory was the
But
big
they
disappointment.
confirmed soul memory is not going to be in Dark Souls 3, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's not there.
So it's only going to be based on level, which means
The demo had the same thing Bloodborne did, where you can only invade people with phantoms already in their world, so it was always a fucking 2v1 or a 3v1 against you.
let's hope that's not the case.
That might be just for the demo,
Yeah.
though, because it was a multiplayer test. I don't know if they were doing that just to stress the servers more.
Well, we'll know more about
Yeah,
Dark
that'd be-
Souls 3 because it comes out in Japan before it comes out here, right? I think it comes out
Does it?
March
Probably,
something.
isn't that how it works?
Let me actually check the release dates of Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3. It releases March 24th, 2016 in Japan.
Okay, so it is
and
early.
April 12th worldwide.
So
Yeah.
we will probably hear all about it before we even play it.
Just what I always wanted.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, that's what I love in video games, when I already know all
And
about them.
Or Vadi will tell us everything, right, Vadi? If you're listening,
oh, please, can we get Vadi in the
get that
podcast?
interview
Well,
with Vadi.
don't seem
So
too
good.
desperate. He won't want to come.
Is really?
You have to make it seem like we're doing him a favor, letting him
Are
on
we
our
though?
podcast.
I don't
Yes,
think we
that's-
are.
Yeah, we're giving
Well,
him
a long
publicity,
time ago, I did convince him to be interviewed by Swix
Yeah.
and I, so maybe I can just transfer it to the podcast
Yeah,
instead.
You could do that.
The only problem is he lives in Australia, which is even farther in the
Oh,
future than
fuck.
Shantari, which is why we had such a hard time trying to get him to be interviewed by Swix and I in the first place.
Guy's probably like around the. He's probably on a plane right now. He's
Yeah,
always
he
traveling.
does a lot of
That's
stuff.
nuts. Yeah, it would be very difficult, but
He did
not
pretty well off
impossible.
Dark Souls, to be honest. Seems
Yeah.
made an entire career out of a video game. Good on him.
I mean, a lot of people do
It
that.
happens. Yeah.
Case in point, only. No.
Yeah, Afro, how's your
Yeah,
YouTube
we
career
have
to
going,
go from
by the
YouTube.
way?
I don't.
Is that funding your lifestyle, Afro?
It is.
Those YouTube dollars.
You get like a couple thousand a week, right?
Like, even if I don't do anything, people watch the videos and they still get paid.
I mean, yeah, that's how YouTube works. It's pretty
Makes
cool.
a couple $1 million a year. True fact.
You heard it here first. You'll see it on his Wikipedia page
All
shortly.
those YouTube revenue sites have got it wrong.
That's why Afro is able to
Afro's actually a
live a
billionaire.
lavish lifestyle in Florida. That's
Dude, I'm able to go from Venezuela to fucking Maryland for a 3-day convention about music.
And video
Yeah.
games.
It's disgusting.
What's
What a
your excuse,
bourgeois.
Shantari?
I'm poor, dude. I'm a student.
yeah. Not
Damn.
everyone can live the
Not
wild
everyone's
lifestyle.
got that sick YouTube money.
All right. Speaking of MAGfest, that's coming up in like really soon, like almost terrifyingly soon.
What is that?
I'm excited.
10 days?
In
For those
2
of you who
weeks.
don't know, MAGfest is Music and Games Festival that takes place
It's
in.
gaming festival.
Oh,
Not games.
okay, redo.
It's music.
It's
Shut the fuck
Music
up.
and Gaming Festival, which takes place in the National Harbor in D.C. Is it?
It's in
or
Maryland.
is it considered
isn't it?
Maryland?
National Harbor,
It's
Maryland.
it's across
Yes.
the
We
river.
You're
literally
correct.
we cross over from Virginia into
Yeah.
Maryland. Like
Yeah.
it's like a mile, like not even a mile into Maryland.
Yeah, the borders are really fucked up at that location, so we'll be in the United States.
I'm sure you
I
can
think
like cross
that's-
the street and change territories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you.
I don't
you
think they're
could,
territories.
you
Well,
could.
because crossing from DC to Maryland isn't changing states because DC is not a state.
I mean, DC isn't a.
I mean you could
in
cross into
Maryland,
Virginia
though.
from Maryland just by walking along the street.
DC wants to be a state, but I'm pretty sure they'd have a tough time making that happen. It's a very strange place in terms.
Anyway,
of laws
I love
and-
MAGfest, and I have been
Yes.
attending this convention for literally the past like 7+ years.
Wow.
And it is just because it used to be at a different hotel that was closer, but like that MAGfest just grew too big, and they couldn't have it in that hotel anymore, and so they moved it to the Gaylord, which is it's a much bigger convention. It has tons and tons of like rooms for panels, and it's got the arcade / gaming room. It's probably the biggest thing ever. It's ridiculous the amount
It's
of
the biggest thing ever.
the biggest thing ever. Like
Yeah, that's actually their tag.
that's their
tagline.
tag. Hashtag the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, big enough, in fact, to have as many annoying people crowding the hallways with their backpacks, obstructing your.
Yeah,
your
by the
walkway.
way, the hashtag of the week is hashtag the biggest thing ever. The podcast.
Tweet that for us. Hashtag the
I
biggest thing
guess.
ever.
I'm fine with that.
It looks really hideous
yeah.
when you type it out, to be honest. I don't know.
Do hashtags have to be pretty?
I guess they don't
What
have
makes
to.
a string of text
It's a
pretty?
bit of a societal norm, though.
End your arbitrary hashtag standards. How about you check your hashtag privilege?
Hashtag privilege, yeah.
That'll be
Fucking
next week's hashtag.
But
That'll be when we make our Tumblr for the podcast.
but there's all sorts of wonderful people come to MAGfest.
Yeah.
I don't think John St. John is coming this year. I haven't seen him on the guest list.
No
Dang.
Protomen this year either.
But there, no Protomen this year. But the
Protomen this
Protomen,
year.
it seems like they skip MAGfest like every other one, so they'll be there next year.
Figures
If
the
they're
one I
not
go
there
to,
this
they
year.
don't come.
Fantastic. They'll be there for me
Yeah.
to do that.
But
Wonderful.
Ninja Sex Party. is
Ninja Sex
playing.
Party will be there.
I think they're doing
So
like
that'll
2 or
be
3
fun.
performances, aren't they?
God bless Danny Sexbang and Dr. Brian Wecht.
It's still insane that he has a PhD in theoretical physics.
Is that insane?
There seems to be a strange correlation between physicists and rock stars.
Yeah, just look at Gordon Freeman.
Good.
Brian May has a PhD
Did he
in
really?
Does he?
astrophysics.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
There is a famous pop scientist called Brian Cox in the UK who
He's
used
pretty
to
good, Brian.
be a reasonably famous rock star.
Right. Oh, he's the one who
He does
who-
that quantum physics thing.
Yeah. He's like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but in the UK.
Yeah, he's like the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
People got
of the
really
UK.
upset when he said we're all connected via tried to make
Yeah,
a
because if you
connection
move an
between,
atom, then everything has
spirituality
to
and-
move or whatever.
Yeah, he made a slight mistake about the exclusion principle. It wasn't even a mistake. It was just like
super generalization.
Yeah, and people got really upset for no reason.
It was good time.
Yeah, people like to get angry about stupid shit. Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah, the smarter you are, the more angry you generally get.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true.
That's direct correlation.
Yeah.
The University of Calabasas just published results.
Direct causation,
100%
in
proving
fact.
it.
All right. So what else is going on at MAGfest? Panels, various panels where people.
Brental Floss
Brental
is making an appearance.
Brental Floss.
Brental Floss.
Who is Brental Floss again?
Oh, I met that guy in the bar.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't he do like Mega Man songs?
Yeah, he was the guy that walked us in, Beef, to the bar.
Oh yeah, I remember him. I just looked him up.
He was like,
oh, Afro, are you going to the YouTubers bar mitzvah again?
Probably.
Cool.
I'm going with you.
that little party that happened.
And I don't know anyone's faces, but I probably do know their aliases, but they're not exactly like wearing them on their face.
Yeah. And we'll go up and me and Recueillir can take pictures of you.
Yeah, I'll be there,
like
despite
as
being
if you're
underage
famous
in the bar.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, remember that?
I still have the pictures.
Stop.
I'll post them on the screen at this point in the podcast on the video so everyone can see.
Yeah, the entire
put that in.
podcast is
Whoever's
just
editing
pictures of
this.
Afro in real life.
Don't do it, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. We're pretty lucky that we
an
got
editor called Kevin.
we got Kevin from Game Grumps to edit all our shit.
We got Kevin Spacey to edit our podcast. Quite the catch.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when he offered, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm out of work at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
need something to
it."
do.
I mean, after that Call of Duty game was all
Here's a few
downhill.
$1 million too.
What is Kevin Spacey?
House
up
of
to
Cards.
these days?
Oh, yeah. It's probably a pretty good gig.
Probably making pretty
Get Kevin
good
James
money.
to edit our
Bucks out of
podcast.
that.
He's probably wishing he was making the sort of YouTube money Only Afro was making. That's why he's trying to muscle in on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna try to like replace.
Yeah, shout outs to Kevin Spacey.
Like Afro's gonna be sick one week, and he's just gonna like, hey, what if I do it for Afro?
Like I said, I'm gonna be like, no, Kevin.
I mean, he
come
does a
on,
pretty
don't
good
be silly.
Afro impression, if we're being honest here.
And then Afro will find
does.
cyanide in his coffee, and there'll be a whole dramatic thing about it.
How's it?
Is Kevin Spacey like some sort of fucking Russian KGB agent
No,
now?
that's polonium. Cyanide is just like.
I
your
mean,
run-of-the-mill.
I imagine they'd resort to cyanide if they had to. I don't think they're really picky about
Actually,
their method of murder.
Who was it who killed himself with a cyanide apple? No, I think it was definitely not Hitler.
That was Snow White.
Oh,
No,
Alan Turing.
Turing. There we go.
Apparently.
Yeah, he.
Did Turing kill himself with
Supposedly.
cyanide?
Apparently
No, they
so.
poisoned him for being gay.
There's probably controversy.
I mean, they did, but
No, that's true.
that
That's
didn't
what-
kill him though.
There's a message to all you guys out there: don't be gay, or else you'll get poisoned by an apple. If you're a famous scientist like Alan Turing.
If I can offer my own advice, don't listen to advice from Only Afro. Be
Yeah.
whatever sexuality you want to be.
By the way, the quote you want to extract from that is that Afro says, "Don't be gay." That's his
Well,
advice.
that's not out of context. He literally said it.
Literally, this is a man who's going to dress
Yeah.
up in a maid outfit at MAGfest.
Whoa.
Keep your eyes peeled
Okay.
for that.
Cut that.
Do you guys want to talk
cut,
about
cut that bit out. Cut this entire part of the podcast out.
Wait, we didn't say Recueillir's dressing in a maid outfit.
Now you've fucked it up.
No, we didn't.
No, we
say
didn't.
That, right?
Yeah,
We didn't.
never mind.
Okay, we're
Are
good.
you saying you are?
No, certainly not.
If you were, which character from which anime would you be dressing up?
If I had to dress up as a character, does that have to be a girl character?
Exactly.
Oh,
No,
darn.
you can.
They can be any character you want. You choose.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
All right. Dunno.
You'll find
Okay.
out at MAGfest if you go.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left?
I know.
What?
I'm thinking the
Why
same
are you
thing. I'm
asking
thinking the
that?
same thing, Afro.
Just curious.
Oh, come on, you guys.
we're-
I'm having a.
we've got-
grand
I
old
mean, it's
time.
good to be on point.
We've
with
got an
things.
agonizing 20 minutes left to go.
Well,
Alright,
we've still not even started talking about
Yeah.
I don't
XCOM
want
2.
to. Oh.
We'd leave it for the next podcast. Next time on RIPcast.
No, you can't
We're
cut
gonna
it.
have so much stuff to talk about next week, Afro.
Put that at the end, by the way.
What's happening next week?
MAGfest.
Listen, the next MAGfest is the week after next.
The next podcast will be MAGfest.
Oh God,
And I would love to do a recording of this at MAGfest.
Yeah, we'll get Shantari in. Who are the speaker?
Yeah, I think we can, not on speaker. We'd all have to have like earphones or something. Join like TeamSpeak and mute everything, that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very doable.
Or just bring a microphone in the middle. We sit at the round table and we record it.
We could even film it. And
No.
It would be.
No.
No? We were already doing
Only
that.
for X wearing
In
his
case you
costume.
guys want to see into our decision process, you're hearing it now. Figuring out the next
I'm
podcast.
sure people are.
No, edit the Chappelle over this.
You realize we're going to edit this podcast, don't you?
No, we're not
An
editing
entire
this
skit
podcast.
of Dave
It's going
Chappelle
live
over
right
what
after.
we're talking about
We
right
can
now.
remove whatever we want out of it.
I'm definitely not going to be editing much. I'm going to just take it, do the noise reduction, and then just fucking post
Well,
it.
you're going to want to take bits like this out. This isn't some real
Oh,
entertainment.
is this
just-
out of the podcast? Are we out of character now?
No.
No?
You're not
Shit.
in character.
Oh no, I cursed. I messed up.
Put $1 in the curse
Put that on
jar.
the counter.
The other day
What's
we were
left to
talking
talk
about
about?
cursing.
There's a lot left to talk about. I could talk for hours, Afro.
Yeah, we were talking about how many shits do you get to a fight?
Yeah, and we have okay. So there's like
7.
three different kinds of curse
7
words.
shits to a fight?
Yeah, 7.
Are there 3? I thought there were
There's-
just 2.
That's written.
Maybe just 2. There's
No, it's
religious and there's
There's blasphemous curse
Crude.
words, and then there's vulgar
Yeah.
curse words.
right.
Oh no, that's not what I was replying to. I was replying to Shantari.
Okay.
It's like, how many shits do you take between every fuck?
Oh,
And then I just answered with like, I think the average male takes 7 shits between every fuck. Like, I think it's
Average?
a pretty modest
I don't know if
number.
that's
Yeah, an average.
that's not true. In my
I feel like
experience.
Yeah.
I feel like it's what. Okay, but that gets skewed.
I think your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
on
Like
that
the
number,
average
yeah.
male. We're including all those
The
fucking guys
average.
that get pussy every day. So the number
You
has to
can't
be
say that
very
word.
rounded to 7.
All those guys like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Kevin James as well.
Getting pussy on the daily.
and
Kevin James
Basically
is the
just-
protagonist for
There's
Mall
people
Cop,
called
by the way.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's a good guy.
Kevin Hart's a pretty good comedian. I like him.
Kevin
Is he?
Costner.
Yeah, he's black. I like him.
Kevin Costner's black.
No,
No, I tried to say something positive about Kevin Hart. The only thing that came to mind was
He's
like
short.
he's black.
he's as short as the only.
He has
Afro.
very white teeth.
Yeah.
You're painting a very flattering portrait of this man. The only things you know about him are that he's black and short. It's the only 2 descriptors
funny.
you have.
He has very white teeth.
All right.
So there's 2 big name video games that I would love to talk about.
Is one of them Fire Emblem Fates
Yeah.
coming out in like a week?
No.
So it's 3 big name video games. You want to talk about them?
Well,
No. I don't
alright.
want to talk about Fire Emblem Fate.
What is your big name?
Well,
video
one of them
game?
is XCOM 2. And I don't
Yeah.
actually want to talk about that because I don't know anything about it.
Me and Beef would love to.
We'd
have a
probably
little-
gush
Little
Yeah,
power.
you guys can do your
Take-
own podcast.
take it
about
away.
XCOM.
But
Take it
okay,
away.
So
But there's
XCOM
I
2?
do want the mic when you're done
It's
with
yours.
XCOM.
Okay, I want to lead the discussion of XCOM 2
Go for it.
with a little bit of a sour note
Okay.
because this game has so many performance issues. It is absurd. Every second scene, there will be a huge frame rate drop. Every time there's a scene change, there'll be a frame rate drop.
Yeah.
Sometimes your camera will just go black in the middle of a mission. It is ridiculous how many bugs and glitches.
Yes.
Total Biscuit has said that there were far fewer glitches in the pre-release version that he
That's-
played than there are in the release.
That's very
version.
strange.
which is
Yeah,
interesting.
I wonder what they could have done. That, like they just cut out the useful bug fixes to save on space or something.
Yeah, they just like accidentally leaned on the button that was like fuck the whole thing
Yeah.
up. They
I
just
mean-
rolled back like 10 revisions after they'd fixed all the bugs.
This is Fire Axis we're talking about, creators of such games as Civilization 5, which has also been known to have very huge performance issues and did not work very well when it was released.
Yeah, they aren't the best at making those game
Yeah.
engines.
I haven't necessarily been having frame rate drops, but what I have been noticing is when I get like an Overwatch, which is basically like when an enemy enters my line of fire, he freezes. Like the game's still running, but his animation freezes, and it takes like 10 or 15 seconds, to calculate like what's going to happen, whether I'm going to hit or miss it with the shot, and it can be very jarring when that happens. But overall, it's a fun game.
It has to be said. Other than the performance issues, it is a fantastic game. It's a really
what are
good
the differences
successor
between
to the previous game.
XCOM, the original game, and the newer XCOM 2?
Are you talking about the
most recent
XCOM game?
The
that
XCOM right
Firaxis?
before this one.
Yeah. Not
Like
a ton. There are different classes. There are only 4 main classes, and they're different from what they were in XCOM 1. The story is different because you don't have your own base. You're not trying to manage entire nations supporting you. And instead, what you do is you sort of build relays to communicate with other rebels. Because in XCOM 2, you're a guerrilla force, basically. Your team is not composed of guerrillas.
essentially a terrorist.
You're
Which
a
would
big
be
force of
a
guerrillas.
really
Yeah.
good game. Rise of the Planet of the Apes game in XCOM style, but all the characters are
Well, in
placed with...
XCOM style, yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
That'd
good.
be pretty good.
I'll get started on the mod.
For Axis Games, if you're listening.
Expansion
hit us up.
pack. Like,
But yeah, I mean, the whole premise of XCOM 2 is that the aliens took over Earth in the previous XCOM, and you're now the Resistance, and they really play on that in the gameplay in one key way, which is now at the start of missions, you have this kind of guerrilla warfare style. You're the ones making the ambush now. You get to set up on the aliens and execute your first strike. I think that's like a really neat way to incorporate that into the game.
although, you will be surprised at enemies dropping in and just ruining your day. As I have been. I have noticed I have been having a lot of deaths. Unfortunately, my medic Double Digger, you can also rename characters in this game, so it wasn't Double Digger's not actually in the game, but I named one of my
Shoutouts to Double Digger.
Yeah, you can name your
listening.
characters.
You
in
can
XCOM.
Yeah,
You can be special.
you can
guests
customize
someday.
them. You can change their gender. You can basically anything you can do in real life.
Hair color, gun
Yeah.
color. You can put a hat on them, give them
Yeah,
shades,
it's pretty
make
good.
them dance an Irish jig.
You can
ride an
make them
elephant.
Irish. You can change their nationality somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can just genetically modify your soldiers. This is the whole reason you're going all terrorist on the aliens, and you're doing it on the daily. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, he died in one turn, and it a lot of it's luck based. Like you'll either get hit, or the attack will miss, and sometimes RNG can just make it so you get hit every single shot.
So it's similar
and you
to
just
Fire
die
Emblem,
and you
just
lose the mission. It's
with
very
lions.
similar to Fire Emblem. Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, if you're in the situation where RNG can cause you to take significant
Right.
losses, like the odd death is like, yeah, it sucks, but it happens.
Right.
But if you're like losing missions to RNG, then you've put yourself in a position where that
Mm-hmm.
can happen. The game's not particularly unfair with RNG.
Like you're not gonna hear me complain when my guy who has no cover just walks into a room full of aliens, just full of them.
How was I supposed to know that?
Exactly. I'm not-
Come on, game developers.
Get together, game developers.
Shoutouts to Darkside Phil.
Yeah,
If you're listening, hit us up.
but some very interesting things can happen too. You can get really lucky. Everyone can miss, and your guy will panic, and he'll just run out of the room and hide behind full cover, and he'll be fine after that. So it creates very interesting emergent gameplay, I think is the phrase.
I'll tell you something incredible about XCOM, and that is how invested you get in the lives of your soldiers.
Yes.
Like when I lose one of my top guys, I've got to take 5 minutes to go and cry in the shower because man, that shit kills you. You've gone so far with these people. They've got a personality. You've congratulated them on every shot.
Definitely.
You've berated them for every time.
Especially
you
if
miss.
you've named them after your close
The
friends.
emotional roller coaster you've been on.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially.
I have a guy named Shantari, and he is one of my best heavy gunners.
So who's still
Greatest
alive
soldier.
in your campaign, Beef?
Okay,
Yeah.
these are the people who have died. Byrne Farraday, dead.
Rest
He
in
was dead,
peace,
like, third
me.
mission. Yeah. Recueillir is still alive. You are still alive. You're one of my best
Glad to hear
rangers.
that.
Shantari is still alive. Ragafraga is still alive. Renegade Ginger died horrendously. He got mind controlled, and then Bimmy, who was still alive, Bimmy shot him right in the head with a magnum. I didn't mean to shoot him, but I misclicked, and he just
Beautiful
crit,
moment.
and I was on the verge of tears. But yeah,
Everybody
that's
makes a bit of
XCOM 2.
mistakes.
It causes emotions. All right, Byrne Farraday, I believe you wanted to.
What's the other
continue?
game?
You guys
Yeah,
done with
I don't know.
XCOM?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up.
All right, so a game came out very recently that I didn't even know came out, and that I had been looking forward to.
American
for a long
Trucking
time.
Simulator?
No,
Oh.
no,
okay.
it was originally a Vita game, and they remastered it for the PlayStation 4 and maybe the PS3. I'm not actually sure. You'd have to look that up. Gravity Rush.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Is that on Is that really on PS4 now?
Yes,
It's already out?
It came
Yeah,
out.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's
remaster.
$30 on PS4. It looks fantastic, plays fantastic still, and is
Alright.
just genuinely fantastic overall.
Would you say
You're
the
gonna
new
have to
version's
explain to me.
better
Oh, yeah,
than the Vita version?
What it is?
Gravity rushes that game with a cute anime.
Yes,
girl.
That's all I know about it.
It stars a cute anime girl named Kat, and she has a cat, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff with gravity.
Okay.
You can stick to walls and stuff, fly through the air at incredibly high speeds, and just punch, kick,
Is it?
dodge.
Are there enemies
all-
like you have to kill? Is it like an action?
Yeah, it's an
RPG or
action.
something?
Like I kind of described it to somebody. Like I don't want to say it's like. God, because it's I don't want to say this and then like everybody's gonna be like it's nothing like that. Hey, it's kind of like a super toned down version of Bayonetta.
It's nothing
the,
like that.
the combat, because I mean like you do like you have
Right.
you have the dodge, but like you'll punch and kick a bunch of shit and you'll dodge, and then like later in the game you'll get like these crazy like special gravity attacks that you can do. I remember one of them from the Vita. You like create a fucking black hole, and like everything around it is just completely like obliterated, torn up. It's kind of brutal. It's really cool. I forgot what they got because there's 4 of them, I think, like the really special ones. And there's all sorts of like challenges through the game that you can find to like, because you'll want to gather a bunch of the gems or whatever to level up your melee attack and how much gravity meter you use, because that's another limiting thing in the game is like you can't fly like forever. You have a meter that depletes while you're sticking to walls or flying through the air or anything, but it comes back pretty fast. So if you're like free falling or whatever, it comes back in like a couple seconds. It completely refills if it's out.
Okay.
But upgrading all of that makes it nice.
I'd love to point out that apparently the full title of Gravity Rush in Japanese literally translates to Gravity Daze / Gravitational Dizziness, the perturbation of her inner space caused by the reparation of the upper stratum.
Whoa!
It's pretty
That
sick.
sounds awesome.
Also known
Pretty
as
sick.
Daisy Shinroku Teki Memai. Joshi no Kikan ni Ote Kanojo no. I can't. This is a really long title.
It's a really
Yeah.
long title.
Yeah.
I do
I didn't
love.
realize going into it.
Shojita Setsuda.
It's
Yeah.
just it's really like the way the whole game is presented. It's really nice. The music is very. It's something.
It's very something.
Musical.
Very something. Like I don't want to say like it's because it's not like Undertale levels of good, but it is good.
Yeah.
Music is very nice, very calming.
I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere if you try to compare other game soundtracks to Undertale.
yeah,
It's a good
Not
point.
not just because Undertale
I do
is
like. I do
yeah.
really recommend this game because
Okay.
when they announced the remaster for this as well, they also finally announced the sequel. And the original Gravity Rush came out in the Americas almost 4 years ago in 2012.
wow.
So it's been a while, and they do like in the story they leave it open for a sequel, and I've been
Wasn't Gravity Rush the only game worth having
for a
on the
very
Vita
long
like,
time?
well,
Yes.
ever. Still is.
No,
even?
Persona 4 Golden is worth it. If you like
Yeah.
Persona.
2 games.
Yeah, 2 games for the Vita. God
Yeah.
bless.
Hey, they
Sony,
got-
if you're listening, hit us up.
There's also Persona
they can get
Dancing All Night,
Undertale.
isn't there? That's
Is that
great.
on the Vita?
Is it not? Oh shit.
I honestly
Oh,
I
that's
have
on the
no
3DS, isn't it?
idea. I hope not. That'd be hilarious.
List of PlayStation Vita video games. Oh, that's quite a lot actually.
But is there anything decent in there?
Anything good? I've got no idea. I'm just scrolling through. Oh, there was that new Digimon game that came
Oh,
out
yeah.
recently. It's supposedly been on the Vita for a while in Japan, but now it's been released in the West on the
Oh, yeah.
PS4.
Wasn't someone streaming that the other day on Video Shorts?
Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb has been streaming that on Video Shorts, and it looks pretty good.
I
actually,
might have to check that out.
I've heard some really good things about it.
I was a very big
Yeah, it
fan
looks like
of
some good fun.
Digimon as a child.
Oh, hold up. Yeah, hold up.
Several
Back to
action
Gravity Rush real
figures
quick.
that were able to. Okay. go. For
But I because there's, like I said before, there's a bunch of challenges in that game, and like they basically consist of like, you know, races and stuff against just like the clock itself. You'll have to hit a bunch of different checkpoints and stuff, and then make it back to the end of it, and you got to do that in a certain amount of time to get the most amount of gems or whatever. And I like to do those in the game. You like tap R1 and you start floating, and if you can aim like where you're gonna like start flying, and you can
Right.
tap that again, and you'll start like, you know, flying towards the wall or space or wherever you want. But that's actually pretty slow. The fastest way to get around in those kind of things is to actually kick while you're floating, because that also counts as a really powerful attack depending on how far away you are from an enemy. So, you know, farther away you are, more damage you'll do with the kick. Pretty standard stuff. But you'll use the kick to get around a whole lot in Gravity Rush for those races and stuff, or just to get around in general from point A to point B. But I looked up after like I would beat a race or something. There's actually rankings for it online right now, and
Right.
like I thought I did pretty well in like, you know, one of these things. And then, you know, you hit the square button, bring up the rankings, and you'll see the top people in the world, and people just obliterate that stuff. Like, I would just love to see, because, like, to get gold in one of the races, you have to beat them all in 45 seconds. And I did that shit in, like, 43 or something. And I felt really good. I was like, yeah, let's see where I rank. And I'm, like, 9,000 something. I'm like, all right, that's fine. And I go to the top, like, 10, and some dude did that shit in, like, 22 seconds.
Like, it seems impossible, right?
It does. Like, it's
What if-
just certain ways.
What
that
if it's
people-
not legitimate though? That's
Yeah,
that's the issue I have with a lot of ranking systems.
I don't know.
You
Like,
go to
I feel
Demon
like
Souls.
that's pretty legit, because I could see it, because I could see like a lot of places where
Can
I
you
could like
replay it?
clean up my stuff if
Oh.
everything went like perfectly. Like, I could do it, and I'm not probably starting the race off wrong, because there's also an ability that you have like called the gravity slide, which was really, really awful in the Vita, in my opinion, because you'd have to touch both like edges of the screen, and you'd have to like tilt the Vita to like
What the
move the
fuck?
character around. It was really bad, and I hated it, because there were some
Yeah.
sections where like you had to use the gravity slide to get around. And I was like, I never want to do this again. But the PS4 version, you just, you know, hit the two, you know, the shoulder buttons, and you can still use the left stick to move around. So it's
Okay.
much, much, much better. So
Does
you could
it
probably
use
use that. in the
six-axis
races.
controls? Like,
Um,
can you tilt your
sort
controller?
of, but
to-
not. You
Or
you
is that,
probably
like,
can,
optional?
and I know that like during like story bits and stuff, because it's told it's told through like a comic book style kind of thing.
Okay.
The main story, you can like, you know, tilt the controller and like change the angle of the page or whatever that you're looking at, and you could probably do it with actually controlling the game. So, but I haven't really bothered with it that much, since
Sounds like
I'd
a good
rather
game.
just control it with the stick or the buttons. Hashtag
And
fuck
you
it.
said That's not gonna be our official hashtag.
No. The
We
official
already have a
hashtag of the
hashtag.
week is hashtag
What was it?
I've
Hashtag the biggest
completely
thing ever.
forgot.
Thing-
hashtag biggest thing ever.
If you tweet
Uh,
hashtag the biggest thing ever, I will notice everything.
If you tweet hashtag the biggest thing ever, remember to tag Recueillier's mom.
No, don't
Only
do that,
Recueillir,
please. She doesn't
please.
need to
I
be
don't
brought
want
into
my
this.
Twitter. I don't want my Twitter.
No, just tweet the
filled with
hashtag and I'll
meaningless
see it.
bullshit. Yeah, the
be honest,
hashtag
yeah.
is good enough.
Yeah, these people don't know
I
how
will-
Twitter work, to be honest.
I will link. I will link all our Twitters
Will you?
in the channel description. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so you can come
social
follow us.
media metrics are very important
Yeah,
to us.
it's
here
very-
in,
very
here in the
important.
Ripcast.
Uh,
It's how we track how many. Well, we don't track it.
No.
Kevin Spacey tracks it for us. It's how Kevin
It's their
Spacey
social media
tracks the
manager.
growth of the podcast.
oh yeah. He's our social
He's-
media.
He's a talented guy. Editor, social media manager, financial
We're
manager.
not paying him
and
for
part-time
all,
actor.
all of that separately, right?
He's my masseuse.
He gets paid like $11 an hour.
Sometimes
right?
I think he stars in some TV show, but I don't pay him $11 an hour to be my masseuse. He pays me $11 an hour to be my masseuse.
All right.
No, shout outs to Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. If you're watching.
Him me up.
All right. Is there any other topics we missed other than
We haven't touched anime at all.
That's
Oh.
probably for the best, to be honest.
Honestly,
Okay.
yeah.
Do the
maybe.
next one.
I'll save my recommendation for next week.
Next week
when
will
we'll
be
have-
Anime Cast. You heard it here
Oh,
first,
no.
folks.
Next
I
week
don't-
we'll throw in some anime.
we cannot
That
talk
was
for
video.
anime
And
for
then
an
next
entire
time on
hour.
Ripcast.
Yeah.
Next time on Ripcast.
I guess that's it.
I don't
been
think I
about,
can talk about anime for 30 seconds.
It's
It's been 1
Okay.
hour, 1 minute, and 35 seconds. So
wow. You were not wrong.
it'll be
So
less than that because
crazy.
we're gonna be
What a-
edited out
what a
about half of
wonder.
this. So
I'm not gonna edit
Yeah, I'm
out
gonna edit
any
out
of
quite a
it.
lot.
no, you're not.
No,
but
You
I
can
think
do that.
If you send the audio tracks, you can send the audio tracks to me, and I'll have a go at editing it. And if I get just fucking bored of trying, then you can just put it up.
All right.
afterwards.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for watching or listening. I guess this is a
Yeah.
streamer.
I mean, you could be watching.
Thanks,
as well.
thanks for watching with your
Yeah,
eyes.
thanks for watching.
Goodbye. Remember, go to Ripcast, ripcast.com, ripcast.net.
We don't own any of this.
Mess-
I mean-
yeah.
I'm hitting the stop button.
Okay, no, we have to hit the stop button at the same
Yeah,
time.
email your questions into ripcast at
Okay.
ripcast.com, please.
But we'll do that in a second. Thanks for listening. See you guys later.
Peace out.
How do I stop it?